Real quick, before we dive into the episode, I want to personally invite you to my brand new live masterclass, Aligned Identity. This is a transformational and completely free 2-day experience happening on April 13th and 14th. I created this masterclass to help guide you back to the truth of who you are and help you unlock the potential that's already within you. Be sure to invite a friend because it's going to be a really powerful 2-day event. There's a link to sign up in the show notes, in my bio, or on my website, melaniemishler.com. I can't wait to see you there. Welcome to Manifest with Melanie, the podcast that helps you activate your manifestation superpower and build the soul-aligned life and business you're meant for. I'm your host, Melanie Mishler, equal parts woo-woo, neuroscience, and strategy. And each week, I share proven tools and raw talk to help you step into your full potential life. Are you ready? Let's go. Hello, my beautiful friend. Welcome back to the podcast. Today, we're going to talk about something that runs most of our lives without us even realizing it. We're talking about the story that plays in the background of our lives, the story that actually really determines and creates the outcomes that we experience. You know the story. The market's saturated. There's no good partners out there. Fill in the blank. There's a million stories that we tell ourselves. And it's more than a story in our head. We can actually feel it in our bodies. It feels like anxiety or tightness or holding. And it's our expectations, our beliefs. And these are all things that we think we know to be true, like actually true. It can be subtle, but it's very fucking powerful. And here's the thing, if you're not aware of it, if you're not consciously interrupting that pattern, that record, that loop that's going on in our head, then it will just keep manifesting the same exact version of reality that you're trying to outgrow. So here's how it usually plays out. You have a desire. Maybe it's more money, a new job, a thriving soul-aligned business, or a deeper relationship with your partner. Or maybe it's selling a business, a home, making a huge change in your life. But at the exact same time that desire is alive in you, so is the old story. We tend to quote like face reality, and the story plays like, these bills are piling up, or the dating apps are trash, or the launch is going to flop just like the last one. And you might not even notice it because it's just how you think. It definitely doesn't feel like a story. It feels like you're facing reality. It's automatic. It's like you are just explaining the way the world actually works or has worked for you. And very often it is real. We came to this realization, to this story based on our past experiences. Sometimes it's experiences that were difficult or traumatizing or that we didn't like the outcome. But what if I told you that the next phase of your life, the next experience doesn't have to be a replica of the past experience? What if I told you that you're calling in what you don't want because you're still actually aligned with that version of reality instead of the new version that you actually desire? Let me say this again in another way because it's really important. You're living inside of a narrative, often subconsciously, that's reinforcing the same outcome over and over again. This is what I call your active attracting point. And I want you to really sit with that. Your active attracting point is the emotional, energetic, and somatic frequency that you're tuned into right now. And it doesn't matter how many affirmations you say, how many times you write your desires in your journal, how many vision boards you make. If the background track playing in your body and in your mind is this won't work, or it never works for me, or if you have an expectation of things going a certain way, then that's exactly what you're manifesting. Not because you're doing something wrong, not because you want to, but because that's how energy works. That's how magnetism works. And this is a magnetic fucking universe. So if you want to know your active attracting point right now, all you have to do is look around, look at your current results and what is showing up in your life right now. That's your active attracting point. So let me give you a real life example of this. One of my clients, we'll call her Sarah, she had this desire, big burning desire to start this business. And she had done all the things, the branding, the website, taken tons of courses, but nothing was landing. There's no clients. She had no traction. So when we started working together, I asked her a really simple question. I asked her, when you think about your business, how does it feel in your body? And what kind of stories are you noticing? And without missing a beat, she said, you know what, Melanie? Honestly, I should have started this years ago. It would have been so much easier then. But now the market's saturated. It's really hard to get clients. It's really hard. And I think I should just go back to my old job. And friend, boom, right there. That was her active attracting point. It wasn't about her strategy. It was the story and the belief and the energy and the expectation that was running in the background. The one that said, this probably isn't going to work. She really believed that. And friend, that right there, that's the work. It's not about more marketing. It's not about another certification. It's about shifting the story and shifting the beliefs and actually shifting that frequency that you're living in. Because once that changes, then everything changes. It's kind of like falling that first domino in a domino train. And that's what I mean when I say, if you want to know what your beliefs are, if you want to know what your active attracting point is, just look at your results, the ones that are showing up right now in your life, because they're a reflection of your internal state. And listen, I know people push back on this all the time. They'll say, but Melanie, I really do want more money, or I'm doing all the things right in my business. I've done the therapy, I've read the books, I've journaled my heart out. And you know what? I believe you. I do. But here's the thing, wanting something is not the same as being aligned with it. In fact, this might sting a little, but wanting something is actually the opposite of having it. Let me say that again, because it can be a little confusing. When you're walking around saying, I want more money, what you're really saying is, I don't have it. You're saying that energetically, vibrationally, you are affirming lack. Your nervous system, your subconscious, your magnetic field, they're all registering the gap, even when we can't register it in our brains. And that gap, that's what's reinforced again and again. I want you to sit with this in your body. There's a difference between longing and embodying. There's a difference between wishing and becoming. There's a difference between desiring and having or experiencing. You have to feel it first before it arrives, before it shows up. You have to be like a plastic factory. You have to be willing to create the mold before form can fill it. And what I mean is, if you look at anything plastic, like just look around you, and there's so much plastic in this world. Everything plastic, it started with a mold, right? You have to have the mold and then fill it with the plastic and it becomes the thing. The manifestation works the exact same way. And your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, your nervous system, that is the mold. That is the mold that's actually creating the reality that you're experiencing. And if the mold is shaped like scarcity or like disappointment or like fear, then guess what the result is going to be? More of the same. So here's the $1,000,000 question. What the hell do we do? How do we change this? The key is we interrupt the pattern. We stop arguing for our limitations. We stop expecting the worst. We stop telling the same tired story of what happened last time or last week or 10 years ago or in your last marriage or in your last startup. We stop reciting it like it's gospel truth. And we start choosing something different, something expansive and liberating, and something that might not quite feel like real yet, but it is true to the next version of you, to the highest version of you, to your deepest desire. It's almost like we have to give ourselves a lobotomy. We have to cut the cord on our mental loops and just be blissfully ignorant. The saying that ignorance is bliss is so very true here. Because here's the thing, and this is one of the master keys to manifesting. It's your old story. It might be based on real experiences, but your future, it does not have to be. Your future can be based on your imagination, on what you create in your mind. And I know that's not easy. Trust me, especially if, let's say, you're in your 40s, trying to call in a next level relationship, maybe after a divorce or a breakup, or if you're starting over in your business after burnout, or when your bank account looks nothing like your vision board. But that right there, That is where the real work is. And that's a moment where most people shrink back, but where you get to expand. And friend, this is why coaching exists because sometimes we need someone else to hold a vision for us until we're ready to hold it for ourselves. And that's what coaches do. They hold that vision for you until you're ready to step into it for yourself. Because yes, this work is magical, but it's also fucking hard. It's hard because it asks you to do something that most people will never ever do. If I'm being completely honest, most people in this world never get to this level of mastery. It asks you to trust something deeper than logic, to believe in something that you can't yet see, and to hold a frequency of your future that hasn't fully arrived, even when everything around you is screaming, see, this isn't working. It asks you to feel your way forward when the path isn't clear and to embody what you want before you have the evidence. You have to move like the version of you who already has it. Even when your bank account, even when your relationship, even when your inbox and your body have not caught up yet. And some people will call this delusional. They'll say you're ignoring reality, that you're being naive. But here's what I'll tell you, that's not delusional, it's devotion. That's the work of someone who is mastering their mind, mastering their body, their life, and their magnetism. It's not denial of outside circumstances, it's discipline. It's identity level change. And let me tell you, it can be really fucking hard to hold and hone in on that vision of your highest potential, your highest self, when the world around you doesn't match on any level. But that's the key to creating the life that actually matches your desire, not just the past patterns. So, friend, I know this can be a lot, but here's what I want to leave you with today. If you feel like you're stuck in a loop, if you feel like life keeps handing you the same old story, but just like with a slightly different base, it's not because you're doing something wrong. It's definitely not because you're not trying hard enough. It's because your frequency hasn't been set to your vision yet. And it's not something to shame, it's something that you can shift. And if you're ready to do that, then I really want to invite you to my upcoming masterclass, Aligned Identity Shift. It's happening May 4th through 6th. It's online. You can come in your pajamas. We're talking about stepping into the identity of our future self and how by stepping into that identity, we shift our frequency and become magnets to everything that we desire. It's identity level transformation. It's where our nervous system meets energetic alignment meets your big fucking dream. You can go save your seats. There's a link in show notes, or you can head over to my website, Manifest with Melanie, and there's a link right on my homepage. And I hope you will join me because, friend, this is something that we're actually all experiencing it right now. We're all living our current attracting point. We're all living our current beliefs. And here's the thing, you don't need to earn your right to want more. You don't need to go through 20 years of therapy to uncover the past, to figure out the future. You don't need to keep staying in this cycle, repeating the same patterns until something shifts. You are capable of dreaming bigger, and you are capable of holding that dream, of honing in on it, and of matching that frequency. So if you're ready, even if you're still a little scared, even if you're still a little like, I don't know about this, then I'm here for you and I'm here to walk you through that path. It's really powerful. And once you get this shift, life becomes really fucking magical. It's really exciting and fun because honestly, we can create anything that we desire. We have to have that focus. We have to create that vibrational match. All right, love. I hope this wasn't too much today. I hope that it was exactly what you needed. And if this message resonated with you, I would love for you to drop me a note, drop me a DM, send me an email. And more importantly, if you know someone who could hear this message today, someone who needs this message, then I would love for you to share this with a friend and then grab that friend and go sign up for the Aligned Identity Shift Masterclass. All right, love, I will see you next week. Until then, keep manifesting an epic life.